Begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, folks.
Commissioner Bruce will be here. He is running a few minutes behind. He texted me at 3:51 saying he'll be late.
Okay.
Just a heads up.
Thank you. Shall we begin with the first call to the public? Limit 3 minutes per speaker, please. And then I have signed in from Sid. Did you want to speak?
I want to speak when you get to Region 5.
I'm sorry.
I wish to speak when you get to Region 5 appointments.
Okay. Okay, I think that's fair. Thank you. Okay. If there's no other public that wants to speak, let's move on to,
I'd like to speak. Do you have my name up there? Yeah, here's a bunch.
oh, jeepers, I guess they were over here. I apologize. Thank you.
Yeah, tell them your name. So we can
Name's Jim Ray.
thank you.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what order these were passed up here, but Rick Zemla,
No, wait till the ladder's done.
James,
Ray, R-A-A-S.
okay, thank you.
Don't write too long.
Please.
Well, I want you to know first up, I'm dead set against them. I've been up to the turbines, I'm dead set against them. I don't think there's been enough clarification on what they're saying, how they work and run, you know, how they affect the community as to what we're learning on our own. The companies are telling us one thing, all the other information is telling us something else. I don't think it's been looked into long enough or well enough. And I personally, I've been up to Ithaca, I drove right up the lane, parked underneath them, listened to them, and to tell you that they don't make any noise is ridiculous. From 100 yards, you can hear them clatter. You know, and nobody's bringing up the recreational uses of our lands that, like what I use it for is for hunting, you know, nature. And most of these windmills are being put way back off the road. And that's where most tracts of woods are splat nowadays. So it's gonna destroy what I'm trying to leave to my son and my grandson as a legacy. It'd be a 600-foot behemoth windmill, clattering and rattling, and ruin your peace and tranquility. And that's not what I want to leave for my kids and grandkids. So,
I appreciate your
thank
comment.
you.
Let me move on to Rick Zemla.
I'll wait. I'll wait till after. Don't you have another public comment?
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Do we have anybody else who would like to speak at this time? Yes, ma'am, what's your name?
Nancy Hovey.
Oh, okay, Nancy.
Are we gonna do it later, or you want?
You can do it now.
You can do it now or later.
You may not stay for the whole thing.
Well, I guess I can speak now, I'd like to hear.
Sure.
I'm also against it. Now, you know, there's two kinds of propaganda, there's true and there's false. And I believe the apex is false. And the reason I say that, there's quite a few reasons, which I have all listed, a lot are listed, and I'm gonna mention them all. But they say you don't kill birds and bats, that's one of the things. But I know my son has a friend who counts them, and there's a lot of them. And another thing, they have the red light on, right? They have the red light on, it's in the center, not where the 200 football long field blade is. So it's much further up in the air. And see, what else can I say? I can say a lot of stuff, I have my notes out. But anyway, I am against them. I'm against the noise, and people have to put blinds down to darken the windows when they're flashing. And I went over to the Fairfield Township Hall, The first lady that spoke was telling about her son with special needs. And she said she took him out in the evening and the sun was coming through the leaves flashing. And she was crying. She said he had a really bad, he got really bad at that time. But there's so many things, but I want you to remember that these people, I don't see that they're here today, but Apex, they can say one thing, but it's, in my opinion, it's a lot of bad propaganda. And every one of my friends, we live out in the country. Our property, we like to keep it for pheasants and for deer. And when they say it's not gonna bother, birds don't like to nest by it. Deer don't like sounds like that, and they really are noisy. They do flash terribly, and it can make people sick. And I don't wanna have to have earplugs in my ears the rest of my life. And I think, they say, I hope we'll all stand together on this, because there is such a thing that's been said. If we don't hang together, we'll hang separately. Let's show them that we do have a good council here, good people that are gonna stand up for us. Because, you know, it's, we just got done with the Pledge of Allegiance, where it says, justice for all. And most of us are not putting them on our property. And the rest of us, most everybody doesn't want them. And when I end up a lot of the figures, it's not gonna benefit the county that much, or the people that put them on. And I can tell you why too, but I'm taking up too much time. But I'm definitely against them. I hope that people will back me up. And maybe we'll show the rest of the cities and counties how we really feel, that we're good people here, and we're gonna stand up to the most of us. I thank you very much.
Brian Smith?
Hello, my name is Brian Smith. I'm a county employee, work with the Sheriff's Office. I've been working there for the last 17 years. I'm here tonight representing Teamsters 214, our union for the road patrol. I was made aware of an issue that was coming up in front of the board here by some of the membership. They asked me to address it, and that's why I'm here. This issue has to do with one of our employees having a vote from you guys, getting a proclamation to award them extra time toward their retirement. The way our retirement system works, I'm sure you guys are well aware, if you need any amount of time less than a year, you still have to buy a year, which is what this would entail, is buying a full year of employment to help someone reach their retirement date. I spoke to some of the commissioners on this issue individually, and two didn't even know about it. Apparently the amount that this is up to is nearly $50,000, which, in my opinion, if you're going to vote on something intelligently, you need to have that information. So that's, to me, that would be unacceptable. This is not a personal issue for me. That this employee is the sheriff has nothing, it's irrelevant, really, to me. If this was any other employee, I would still be up here doing the same thing. I have no axe to grind. I get along with George. That's got nothing to do with this. This, to me, is not right. And to give one person this type of benefit when you have employees that I've worked with over the last 10 years, a decade of not having any salary increases, and you're going to be giving one person this amount of money, it's just really hard to swallow. It kind of flies in the face of common sense. We've had several financial missteps. We've had some rough times in our department, really rough times. We've had to let go 14 people. We've had to watch them walk out the door, which is really difficult. In my opinion, this is going to be another one of them. So I would ask that you very carefully consider this before you make a decision on it. Thank you.
Let me just comment on that. The dollar amount was an error, substantial error.
Okay.
We've just learned, and we'll discuss it the next meeting today in finance, but it's approximately $3,500, which will be the discussion figure instead of 50,000.
okay. I was given that amount by,
We just found it.
I was given that amount by one of the commissioners.
That was the original, and we went, really? I mean, yeah, but we'll discuss it and we'll get the points in finance, okay? It's not just, that item is not in this meeting, so, okay.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you for your time.
Try to keep this going. Is it Matt Hezerbrandt?
Ebekizer.
Ebekizer, thank you.
My issue is regarding the wind turbines as well. I think at a minimum, there needs to be a moratorium, if not more. But the wind turbines,
Yeah, a minimum of,
at least you guys vote for a moratorium to slow things down, figure out what's going on. I'm all for tax revenues or whatever, but, my wife and I just bought our dream home, and we have nothing but a beautiful west view over a pond, and I don't wanna see the things, first off. Second off, where are there 600-foot tall towers now? How do we know that much about the 600-footers? Not to mention what the other lady had talked about, as far as wildlife. I just read something about the possibility of messing with Green's cows and their milk production, so, and I don't know the facts of that either, but I just want you guys to at least consider this moratorium at a minimum. Thank you.
appreciate it, thank you. Okay, Gene Roos?
Gene Roos, Woodbury Township. In the agenda, I see you talk about the moratorium, and I just would hope that you guys would take a look at how long the moratorium is too, because I can see, say, 30 pages of amendments coming through, and you need to decide how long it's gonna take you to go through all that stuff before you just say, 2 months or 6 months, or I think you need to make it a year, and then if we get it done earlier, you can back off that. But there's a lot of issues here to look at. We've done a lot of studying, we've got a lot of information right here in this group. I would hope that you would think about that, how long the moratorium is as well, when you do, if you do vote it in.
Thank you. Lois Walker?
I too am against the wind turbines, the industrial wind turbines. We're asking that, it is a 20-year-long project. And what is 6 months, a year, 2 years to really look at the safety factors and if this is really the backdrop that we want for our community. My husband and I, this is our home. We grew up on either end of Shiawassee County. We both come from farming backgrounds, so we understand the farming aspect and why a farm would want to add this. But when you look at a whole as to the cost to the community, what it may cost some of our residents. There's 2 residents right now that have 6 of them around them and 4. And I just would really ask you to really consider the very permissive zoning ordinances that are in effect right now. And like Jean said, we do have a lot of information that we'd like to share with you concerning those. Thank you.
Thank you. Julie Young?
Hi, Julie Young, Owasso Township. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I did have a meeting with Mr. Preston last week, and I asked specifically on the safety issue. And unfortunately, he couldn't provide me with any data, a file to look at, figures, nothing. There was nothing. So that's very concerning. That's one reason I'm asking for a moratorium. The second part of it is the economic impact. I've emailed my commissioner, Mr. Owie. He was unable to provide any informational facts on the finances. I've contacted Justin Horvath from the Economic Development Corporation. He can't provide a breakdown of where the money's coming from. The $12 million that Mr. Leela spoke of at the meeting, the big meeting last week, where's that coming from? There is no data, there's nothing. Nobody can provide where that figure comes from. Are we just taking Apex at their word? I mean, has anyone at this commission level seen a proposal, financials? I mean, I just think based on the safety issue alone, a moratorium is in order. And then secondly, I think we need to do a little due diligence on the finances. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Troy Gordon?
I'll wait till the finance meeting. I would like to wait till the finance meeting.
Okay, thank
Thank you.
you. And Lori Smith.
Lori Smith, Rush Township. I will repeat the need for a WECS moratorium. The citizens of Shiawassee County are putting their faith in your carefully researched decision today. The Shiawassee County residents must have time to view the research and data you have collected and will collect, listen to and examine reliable, scientifically based data collected by expert consultants, and have public deliberation throughout the ordinance rewrite process. Decisions were made that did not take Shiawassee residents' health or financial well-being into account. This ordeal has shown there is a great need for transparency as to the workings and decision-making processes of our county officials. A moratorium is necessary to ensure this transparency and that the welfare of every resident is considered first and foremost. Thank you.
Thank you. I certainly hope I haven't missed anybody. Sounds like we got them all. Okay, thank you. Let's move on then to community development monthly reports and building department reports. Peter Preston. Wednesday's meeting with a vote, signify by saying aye.
Aye. I would accuse yourself of that vote.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Parks and Recreation Commission.
Well, then there would be an elected official position open as well.
Yeah, we thought I'm elected official.
Okay.
So we got the Midwest Trail here.
So I guess you could leave it open until somebody applies on a new board, new township board, something along those lines, city board. Just an idea.
That's what I'd recommend, that the board would ask for someone from general government,
Send out a letter.
send out a letter first of the year. Somebody may want to serve.
So how do you want to proceed?
Well, we've got the two for the general public, then you can move forward by advertising the elected official position. See if you get any interest
Yeah,
there.
do that first of the year.
And then if that doesn't happen, you can volunteer somebody to do it.
Right. So we have no motion essentially to move that forward, or?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Then we go on to the Planning Commission.
Did they do the Midwest
Yeah, we
Commission?
did do the Midwest Trail.
I thought we did.
No.
We just did A.
Terry McLeod is asked to be reappointed.
No, I think it's Barry Cullen.
Well, Barry?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Terry's a three-year term.
Barry was just appointed about a year ago.
Okay. So I skipped over one. I apologize. Okay. Let's,
I'd make a
Can you
motion
include
that we would reappoint Barry Callahan? Coward?
I'll second that.
any further discussion?
I would just reach out to Barry since he didn't respond and see if he wants to be appointed again.
I thought he did.
He did.
It says no response in the
Interested in
sheet.
reappointment?
Yeah,
I got a letter.
I read
Did he?
it. Yeah, I read the
Okay.
letter.
On this one, that's,
Yeah, Barry.
okay, okay. Okay. So are we moving forward with both of those names then?
Just one.
Just one, Terry
Just Terry McLeod?
She's not up, she's up in 19.
Okay, thank you.
I was reading the wrong one.
Okay. Let's move that ahead with a motion to Wednesday's meeting. All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The motion carries. Sanitary Board of Appeals.
We're on Parks and Rec now.
Pardon me?
We're on Parks and Rec now. See.
Okay. Why am I so off schedule here? Okay, we're on Parks and Recreation right
Here we go.
now. Okay. I apologize. Item C. pen out.
So we have 2 people interested in reappointment and 1 position that nobody responded, and another David Eckstein, who's been here many times, normally is here, interested in the appointment.
Can we make the appointments all together, to that be individual?
Now, we need to do it individually.
Individually?
Yeah.
Then I'll make a motion to reappoint Larry Johnson, Parks and Recreation Commission.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion?
It's the only reason Larry came today.
We can move it. Yes?
Do you want the dates and board to successor
Yes.
appointed in the motion?
Yes.
What is the term on that?
It is a 3-year term.
3-year term.
Thank you.
12/31/19.
All set on the motion? Okay. We can move that ahead to Wednesday's meeting. All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. That motion carries. Okay. Am I on planning commission?
No, we're still,
No, no,
we're still
no.
on Parks and Rec.
I would make a motion for the same term for Stacy Loomis.
She's not,
Ah, yeah.
it's Chris Clahoon would be the next one.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Yeah. I'll make that motion.
Okay, any further discussion?
Well, I can't read today, can
Yeah, we got it straight? Okay, move that ahead with a vote. All signify by saying aye.
I? Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Now on to the planning commission.
No, we still have the one with them. I'll make a motion to appoint Dave Eckstein to the open spot.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion? If we move that ahead with a vote, all signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Sanitary Board of Appeals.
Planning Commission.
Man,
Come on, John.
Okay. Planning Commission.
John, it's just the hair is growing on the inside now, it's messing with the brain.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Bonnie Ott to the Planning Commission for a 3-year term.
I'll support that motion.
Any further discussion? Move that ahead with a vote. All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same.
I'll make the motion to approve Walt Saxton for a 3-year term.
Second.
Any further discussion? I'll move that ahead with a vote.
I don't have a discussion on that particular pick, but I thought there was supposed to be an agricultural representative, and I do not see that on there. Is that lost in translation, or do I just recall?
Seems like there was.
Yeah, and it was vacant, if I recall. So as this wind turbines thing moves forward, I think it'd be appropriate to have somebody from the agricultural community who will be impacted by this on this planning commission. And so I would like someone to look into previous spreadsheets and see if that was in fact a position, and if we have any letters of interest from the agricultural community. And if you don't, you'll probably have 10 pieces of paper handed in right now. Lois got it.
So,
No, we made a motion to appoint Walt Saxton from government.
yes,
He's from government.
yes.
That is on the table.
So,
Let's move this motion along, John.
okay, we'll move this along.
Thank you.
All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
I would move Steve Andrews for approval for a 3-year term. He's industrial.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? We move this along with the vote. Signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
And if we do research that we need somebody from agricultural, the board can handle that next year, for the first meeting in January.
Okay. Okay, we're good.
Might keep in mind that the planning board used to be a lot more individuals. We never could get a quorum, so we reduced that to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members from 11, because we could never get a quorum of people to come, or get enough people to serve. Maybe in January, they can increase that quorum if they would like, which would take in maybe some other areas. I know that we combined some areas into one position a few years ago, so you may want to expand it, and you'll find out if you can as to a category.
Thank you.
Wow. The one you've been waiting for.
Well, you're correct now, I gotta find my agenda. Okay. On to the Sanitary Board of Appeals.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Lance Ulmer for a 4-year term, Sanitary Board of Appeals.
I'll second that motion.
And if there's no further discussion, we'll move that along with a vote. All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
I'll make a motion for a 4-year term for Mary Berginski.
Second.
If there's no further discussion, we can move that along with a vote. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Did we reach out to those other two, or?
Letters were sent.
I'm trying to think of what all we have here. We have everybody covered?
Yep.
Okay. Move on to the Solid Waste Management Committee.
I would move that we reappoint John Gull to the Solid Waste Committee, it's a 2-year term, I believe. Yep.
That's correct.
Mhm.
I'll second that.
He
There's no-
represents solid waste industry.
Yep. If there's no further discussion, we'll move that along with a vote. Signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
I'll move to reappoint Rick Crawford to the Solid Waste Management Committee for a 2-year term.
I'll support that motion.
Any further discussion? Move that ahead with a vote. Signify by saying aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
I'll make the motion to reappoint Terry McLeod for a 2-year term. She comes from the general public.
Second.
If there's no further discussion, we can move that along with a vote. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Did we not get a response from Gene? Gene Pez?
No,
Okay, all right. Okay.
Think he's interested?
He could be, I mean, he's kind of a word guy to have on there a little bit, he's got a lot of knowledge.
We're just sticking on there anymore?
I don't know. I know Larry talks to him every once in a while, so.
I don't wanna speak for him,
Yeah, I know.
he probably forgot, but
I don't want to speak for him, but I'm going to throw him under the bus.
I'll address it next month.
Yeah, or if we could, he has been on the board for quite some time, we can find out by Wednesday, we can give him a phone call.
I can do that.
Makes sense.
And a valuable member on that board.
Okay.
I'll move to reappoint Norma Lee. Oh, no, wait, never mind. I'll withdraw that, never mind.
Okay, you're talking,
Yeah, move to zoning board of appeals.
okay. Okay, on to zoning board of appeals.
I'll move to reappoint Dwayne Wood, he's from Berry Township, to the zoning board of appeals for a 3-year term.
Second that.
And if there's no further discussion, we can move that along with a vote. Signify by saying aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
I'll move that we reappoint Henry Martin for zoning board of appeals for a 3-year term.
I'll second that motion.
There's no further discussion. We can move that along with a vote. All signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Very, thank you. Okay, any other agenda items? Hearing none, we can move to that second call to the public. If I understand correctly, anybody else that wants to speak in the next meeting will be coming up
You
soon.
can speak at this meeting too.
Well, it'll be coming up soon.
I'll speak now.
Pardon? Yes.
My name's Rick Zum, I'm the Fairfield Township Supervisor, and we just had a lot of concerns. We had an overflow in our last meeting on the wind turbine, and there's a lot of passion, a lot of people involved. You know, you talked on the moratorium, and we just strongly urge it, and I just want to give you a letter that we drafted and all the township board signed. And we just really urge you to take a really good look, or the planning commission take a really good look at this, because it's gonna affect things that you and I haven't even thought about. And it just, to me, I guess to us, we just don't feel there was enough time and effort put into it. $300 million project, 30 to 60, 600-foot turbines. I don't know if any of us even seen 600 feet in Michigan. I have. I assessed a 1,000-foot cell tower or television tower, but that was up in the clouds. And I don't know. I'm glad to hear that you're considering it, and if you don't mind, I'd just like to.
No, I don't. Appreciate it.
I brought a copy for everybody.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I'll have the same letter going to the planning commission as well.
Yes, some of them won't pass.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Jeremy, please. One from four. Well, I got one. I'll give one to you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. That's the end of the public comments. We'll go to adjournment. Move on to the next meeting. Thank you.
Fine.
This is